I think about when God created the world, and God looked at the world and God said, it is good. And when I look around in the world, I see diversity, a diversity in different forms, shapes, colors, and smells, sights. And in the world that we live in right now, I feel like diversity is a bad thing. And I don't know how we got there, I think diversity is a strength. I think it's an asset. And when we come together with the diversity of thought and the way that we do life, that we approach our problems in a different way. And so immigration is actually, I see in a lot of ways, different people fearing one another because we're different, instead of like almost seeing each other as a gift. Sometimes when we talk about issues, we forget that we're talking about people. And when we first make friends and just actually introduce one another and know one another's name, relationships start, and then we start to see each other's lives. And actually, within those relationships, the Spirit starts working. I don't think it's that complicated. Then we start to understand things, and it's not that we have to agree. We might come out of those conversations with different views, but at least in that relationship there's space to have a conversation. The first actually image that comes to my mind is the Trinity. And because again, if you go back to the beginning, it wasn't one entity that created the world. It was a community of three that created the world. And I think in that I understand that we are all about community. And I think the three persons in the Trinity are very different from one another, actually. But they bring different gifts to that community. And I think they become a symbol for me as a person who believes in Christ and believes in the Trinity, that it's an invitation to live like the Trinity with one another. And in some ways, to be in relationship with somebody, you have to create that space. You have to create some space for something of the other person to live within you. And it's the same with the other person. So there's some letting go that you have to do. If there's no space inside you for someone else, you can't have a relationship. So there's some sacrifice in there. There's some giving up in there. When you're in community, I think as an individual, you do have to give something up.